Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Just the other day, I saw two kids out playing basketball with their Barton County basketball shirt on with signatures on the back. And I told them, I said, what do you think they were doing? And my thought as I drove by and saw them, they were trying to be Cooper Jackson, or they were trying to be Mose Downing or Leger Jones. And
Salvi rips it, left center field, down into the gap, that's a base hit. Hampson takes off for third, he rounds the bag. The Astros don't even bother to pick it up. Hampson scores standing.
Another game where a ton of stuff went on. I mean, it was relatively low scoring, but there was a lot of stuff going on. And the guys were hanging in there. They were putting together some pretty good at-bats. I thought we swung the bat, drove the ball around the field a little bit with nothing to show for it.
Same as last year, it's definitely a little scary to come in with a target on your back, you know. Everyone's trying to gun for that top position, but try not to worry about how anyone else is working. Just focus on the bars I make and the progress I'm making.
Those odds are really short. You mentioned it, and you're right. Like, that's Tiger territory in terms of the odds. But if he putts the way he has the last three events, he'll absolutely be on the first page.
The biggest need that they have is offensive line. They don't have a left tackle and they don't have a center. They've got to fill those roles.
Well, there's a hard hit ball to center field. Backing up is Rojas. Looks up and it's gone. A home run straightaway center field. And the Cardinals get on the board first with the long home run for Gorman. 1-0 St. Louis.
How do you say that, Ernie? Filipowski? Filipowski. Oh, that's what I meant. Filipowski. Filipowski did a really nice job. Passed it to the guy with the headband. You don't know any of the players. That number 75. There's no 75 out there. 75 that had the headband with Filipowski.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome in. It is the Wednesday Sports Day show. Steve Webster with you, Mike Corson, Aaron Clark, and sitting in for Mike Hesher today is Landon Winkler. On the show today, we're going to be talking with Barton Athletic Director Trevor Rolfs, who was going to visit the Mayo Money Management Studio. But I guess you get a national championship under your belt, and pretty much we've got to run you down on the phone. So we'll be checking in with Trevor. They've got a big celebration tonight at the Best Western Angus Inn in Great Bend for the Barton Men's Basketball Championship. Should be a cool time. Everything's starting at 5 down there, so we'll check in with Trevor. And Mike Corson. it's like
it's Pavlonian.
That's it. And then he goes, Mike Corson goes on the prowl with Panther Sports. He's going to be talking with Great Bend Lady Panther softball coach Carrie Minton today. And she's going to be joined by 3 pitchers.
We've got Braylon Turner, Alyssa McCauley, and Chayla Prendergast.
Okay, they're going to be in. Lady Panthers swept their doubleheader yesterday with Dodge City handily, and they will head to Dodge City for a single game tomorrow. Baseball, we'll get into that a little bit later in the show. They went to Hayes yesterday and lost 2 games, losing the first game 4-0, second game 5-4, in which the Indians, they get 4 runs in the 5th?
Yep.
They have to come from behind and get that victory. So that's what's on the show today, including our sounds the past 24 hours or so. So let's get started here. Jeremy Combs, what winning a national championship does in a community. Back in my day, when I first came to Great Bend, it was my big-time job. I'd been down doing the Pratt Greenbacks and Pratt Beavers for 4 years. 87, George Donnelly leaves, and I come up and start doing Great Bend High and the Barton Cougars. Back in those days, though, especially basketball season, I mean, the big deal was the Barton Cougars. High school, that's okay, we'll do them, but the big deal, the big money maker was Cougar basketball. And then over the years, that kind of waned a little bit as for many different reasons. I mean, the teams have been good, but parents got more involved in things like that. But you go out and win a national championship, and Jeremy Combs is talking about that. You get identity with the community. The community gets an identity with you, and especially the players and the team they had, as many different things they did in the community to reach out. I think we've seen that come back a little bit. I don't know if it's past Great Bend High yet as far as interest and things like that. I don't know if it ever will again. But Barton certainly is, the basketball program is very relevant once again, boys.
Yeah, so that was at the Barton County Commission meeting yesterday. I believe yesterday was proclaimed to be Barton Men's Basketball Day. They didn't put a date, but I think it was yesterday. Combs said that nearly brought a tear to his eye to see the kids out there playing with the Cougar shirt and the signatures on the back. Almost brought a tear to my eye that kids were out playing.
And it's the first national championship, having a big celebration tonight. Yet we have what? How many other track and field has 58 of them?
I think so.
And, of course, that I got a text from that. Well, when are we going to celebrate that? Track and field doesn't resonate. It's not a – we don't even have home track meets. It's
not as much
and in the same way, well, we have national championships. Aren't we going to do one for the women this year? They won a national championship. It's just the way it is.
We're getting there. Now we're paying the Olympic athletes this year. Track and field's growing in these United States. Give it time.
Yeah. It's like the I'm just saying it's just the way it is. That's my answer. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, and to all fairness there, the Cougars play twice a week, or the basketball team plays twice a week, a lot of home games. They're indoors versus
how many track
you don't
meets
get
do you
to
have
see
a year? I mean,
yeah.
And you're really into track, and I am too, as far as, just going out and watching a track meet for the day, but that's a full day commitment. It's not going out and watching a basketball game for 2 hours.
And it seems you either love it or you don't. I thought maybe they would be at the Fort Hays meet, and I wanted to get pictures, hoping of Barton, but they were at bigger, better things. So one of these days I'll catch them for my own interest, but I get it's not a community interest type thing.
Call on KVGB last night. Salvador Perez singling in the 10th inning, scoring Garrett Hampson to walk off the game. The Royals come from 3 down to force extra innings before beating the Astros 4-3. Matt Quatrero, he does a busy game. A lot of things going on. The Royals now 7-4 on the year. Back at Kauffman Stadium tonight for Game 2 against Houston. Coverage starts at 6 right here on KVGB. Bob Salter coming in for Pages in Time today. And the first thing he said when he walked in, said, those Royals are going to win the World Series. There you go. Good start. They're gonna.
Cole Reagans has been hot. Gets the bases loaded, no outs in the first inning. Gets out of it with a run. But my DVR quit right when KSN was broadcasting the sports, so I got a preview of what was to come. But so I watched it anyway. Bobby Witt, tremendous play, diving play at short in the 10th inning, saved the run. So who knows what would have happened after that? It would have been probably tied. But so Salvi will get the credit for that big base hit, but Bobby Witt set that up with a tremendous play at short.
Okay, you heard from Hoisington's 2-time state pole vault champion, Shelame Farmer, who went 11-6 Tuesday in Ellsworth to easily win that event. Wichita State-bound senior facing off against the state silver and bronze medalist at Smoky Valley on Friday.
So she had another good cut that I didn't send you, but it's whenever those three get together, it's showtime. They all push each other.
Who's the other two?
Got Heston, she's a sophomore, a Lehman girl, Ashley Lehman, and then Smoky Valley's had the Peters girls forever. And Belle, I think, is number 2 or 3 all-time in Kansas. She's at Pitt State now, so her sister continues to progress. So with that 11-6 yesterday, now all three of them have a pretty heady lead in 3A, all at 11-6.
And those heights just continue to soar. I mean, when they added pole vault, that made so much sense. I mean, see women in gymnastics, what they can do. That's
the
gymnastics on a pole, man. I'm telling you what, you got to have strong core, strong arms. I mean,
this is somebody said you're doing an upside down headstand at 12 feet, 14 feet. So the kid from Andover Central's got the all-time now at 17-6 and a little change. I walked up yesterday hoping to catch Josiah Ball going, and they said, and it's big time at a small meet when they say, everybody turn your attention to the pole vault. Hoisington's Josiah Ball is going for 15. So he didn't get 15, but got his 14-6, and I believe he's got a pretty decent lead in 3A himself.
I used to be a big pole vault fan because my dad was a pole vault fan, and he was a track coach. And I remember it was like, okay, well, I'd have been like kindergarten, first grade in Maxville, and they had this guy named Jim Johnson. And he had he was going 12-6 and 13, and that was a huge deal back in those days. That's kind of raised up a little bit then. Jim Johnson, the late Jim Johnson, who has passed away, but he was one of my early idols, man. Look at that guy. He can.
Well, what's cool with pole vaulters is they don't always get the attention, but with what happened at the Worlds, a year and a half ago, the two gals, and they had to split the gold. So pole vault, and then you got Mondo breaking all the records on the men's side. So pole vault's gaining traction.
It is. We're going to have the National Pole Vault channel before long.
Well, they got dogs racing and stuff on ESPN Ocho.
Yeah, isn't it? It's, okay, I can believe that because look where our TV ratings are going. I mean, the women's national championship game outdid the men's, and then one of the biggest events was the big wrestling event they had over the weekend.
It's all about the hype, and it's all about building a star. So credit to NBC. They got the Olympics coming up. They want that to be a moneymaker. You actually see track and field people in commercials.
You
Just
do?
A cool one with the guy running with the cape and the guy behind him.
I thought he was an actor.
Nope, that is one of the premier sprinters in the world.
Oh.
You learn
Shouldn't
something new every
they
day.
have a little line going underneath?
Well, the
on
little
who it
lower
is?
third.
The tights he's wearing should have
okay.
been the tell.
Okay. Scott Van Pelt, the Masters begins tomorrow. It used to be the Tiger Invitational. Tiger Woods turns 48, or is 48 this
Is that
year.
it? Seems like he's been around for 48 years. Well, he has been, but
It's nice to just be able to. That's why, to sit down on a Sunday and know your guy was going to be in contention to win it. He might not win it, but he's going to be there. If you're another golf fan of another, I'll go. Scotty Scheffler's been really, really good this year. But it's always because you go in. Okay, well, my guy's not in the tournament because how many times do you win a tournament every year? Even had a chance to. Tiger was there every week, but Green Jacket will be on the line here starting tomorrow in Augusta, Georgia.
I think another part of what kind of is missing from having a guy like Tiger competing, whenever he was at his peak and you were watching something like that, who knew what you were going to see, what he was going to be able to pull off, what kind of insane shot he was going to muster, what low score he was going to be able to pull. But now maybe we'll see Scotty Scheffler or someone else from the field pull something out.
I'm just hoping Tiger can go out and win it. Wouldn't that be great? I don't know if you can get around. That's like walking up the front of Pikes Peak. I mean, there's a lot of highs and lows on that golf course. I just hope he can get around one round.
I know who's not in the field, Savannah Guthrie. I'm watching Today Show the other day, so she's out there doing a live remote.
You watched the Today Show?
I had it on.
My.
And she said, she asked if she could take a shot, and they said, not a chance. I thought that was funny that they shut her down.
I think it's funny you watch the Today Show. Todd Archer, Cowboys reporter. The Cowboys, they don't have a center, they don't have a tackle. Well, they'll probably take advantage of that as the NFL draft coming starts on Thursday, April 25th. I don't think the Royals play that night, so we'll have that coverage here for you on ESPN. Call on KMOX. Nolan Gorman gets a home run to start get the Cardinals on the board. They beat the Phillies yesterday 3-0 in a shutout. And Frank Caliendo with a beautiful imitation of Charles Barkley's coverage of the NCAA tournament.
It was an incredible impression.
He got a whole bag of them, and he can switch in and out at the snap of a finger. I always appreciate the impressionists.
The guy with a headband.
75. I just explained to the girlfriend the other day, what's the numbers in basketball? She didn't know the 6, 7, 8. You got to be able to do it on one hand, so nothing over 5.
But in the NBA, they can still, right?
Yeah.
I mean, John Havlicek was like 17.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they figured it out in the NBA. I'm trying to think how they do it. I don't know how, but I know they do allow because Luka Doncic is 77.
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense.
Well, what was Bill Russell's number?
55 or 6.
6,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's retired now.
No one's going to get that in.
Yeah, I mean,
number 6 is gone.
It's retired for league wide.
But baseball's getting so many numbers that are retired of these teams. Now you just see a squad full of I'm sorry, you do not look fast and athletic when you're wearing number 88.
And
Right?
it used to be a marker of these are the guys that are kind of, we're testing them out. But yeah, especially for the Yankees, all the low numbers are done.
Yeah.
The Boston Celtics have a similar similar issue. Anyone who wants to play for the Celtics has to pick some wild, wacky-looking number.
Yeah, I want to be 1A.
That's what they're going to start throwing letters in. That's how the Celtics are going to have to
You
roll.
need to be a stock racer. You know, you need to go to those sprint car races. Right? Oh, yeah, it's the Yucca Farms, KVGB 17X.
Just put a 1590 on your basketball jersey. Oh, I found white 1590.
McDonald's.
Well, and then we could have a 1590, a KVGB, and a 95.5. We can have a little three-man front court or something there with the players' numbers.
Yeah, it's good to have two more channels than other people do. Okay, we're going to hook up with Trevor Rolfs. Also, we're going to talk softball and a lot of headlines that we'll go over with today. So don't go too long, Mikey. I'll try to give you the same favor coming up here. It's Sports Day, the Wednesday show here on KVGB.
Need to make a change? Get the latest devices at Nextech Wireless. Right now, you can get up to $1,000 off a new phone, like the Samsung Galaxy S24 or the iPhone 15. Well, what are you waiting for? Make the switch now. Nextech Wireless. Home on the range.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys make it happen.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Amy Herrera, Regional Retail Manager for your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many people navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you how we're committed to serving you in our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Introducing Ag Mechanics at Barton Community College in partnership with Case New Holland Top Tech. Hands-on training in areas like electrical, hydraulics, and diesel engines, with technicians gaining the knowledge and skills needed to start a career with CNH Level 1 training. Join this high-demand field at a CNH dealership in only 9 months. Now enrolling for the fall semester. Learn more at toptech.bartoncccc.edu.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
I had a young gal come in the other day who has been having chronic back pain. Did a session just helping her to understand her pain, not understanding her back, but teaching her how her nervous system works. And just that knowledge just calmed her down so much. She came back in this morning, huge smile on her face, and she was so excited to learn more. It was a blast.
Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back, Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Show brought to you in part by Equity Bank. More than 40 locations throughout Kansas, including Great Bend, Larned, Maxville, and St. John. EquityBank.com and the American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department, your certified Cenex lubricant dealer in Great Bend. And, of course, the Barton Cougar Athletic Department. And the head of that department is on with us right now, Trevor Rolfs, getting ready for a little celebration tonight. How you doing, Trevor?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Steve?
I'm doing okay. Well, I haven't seen you. Has it been a little hectic out at the college here recently?
Little would be not a very good word to use. It's been a lot hectic. With success, oftentimes, just a lot more planning and a lot more work. But if you're an AD or anybody associated with an athletic program, that's just the way you want it. That's just the way you want it.
The day after the Monday after the Cougars won the national championship, we were on Sports Day, and talking about how things change when you win a national championship, like in basketball, like the Cougars did, because not very many people do it. And
no.
And then you see what, Jeremy Combs at the county commission meeting this week talking about, seeing kids, with Barton jerseys playing basketball. Maybe they're, maybe they're Leger Jones, or somebody other player on this year's team. It really, you talk about a boost for the program in the community, and man, it does a lot more than you would ever think.
Without question. And I think we could see that with any program, NCAA or NJCAA. Let's start with how hard it is to do. Of all the great players and great coaches that have come through Barton Community College and the great teams they've had, nobody's been able to do it. Barton had only been to the national tournament 4 times total and had never won a national title, got close a couple times with a third and a second. But as you mentioned, it's extremely hard to achieve. It takes a lot of things to come together and the right recipe and all of those things. But it certainly puts your program on the map, even more than it was before on a lot of levels. The exposure and the free marketing that we've received from our basketball team winning the national title has been unbelievable. Unbelievable. Again, people talk about Barton all over the country and all over the world. And, now we've basically just, fed that talk, put some steroids on that. And it really is astounding, Steve, and the accomplishment that these young men put together. And you talk about the community, getting behind us. I've said for years that we draw as good as anybody for our basketball games in the conference with all of the challenges that we have and the alternative forms of entertainment we face these days. But we draw as good as any, and I really give Jeremy Combs a ton of credit for the fostering that he's done with his program by getting out in the community, recruiting good kids that do the right things on and off the court, getting those student athletes involved in our communities in a number of ways, and in particular in the schools, in the school systems with a number of different community service efforts. And we were really good last year, and we really thought, year one we were solid. We were really good last year. We thought, we should have been at the tournament. We didn't handle our business, and we left it in somebody else's hands. But it was just growing. You could sense it. It was surging and it was growing. More fans coming out, more people wanting to be connected with the program. And Jeremy continued to foster that through his assistant coaches and student athletes. And then we got to that number 1 ranking, there late January, early February, and the crowds continued to stack up and get bigger and bigger. And, it was like the old days in February at our home games. Yeah. It was packed house, and the energy was incredible. And then certainly what they did, from winning the conference title, then they keep calling it the Triple Crown, which I think is pretty neat. And they wanted to win the region title, and they did that against Hutch on their home floor. And then to make the run we did, essentially dominating the national tournament in all 4 rounds in the 4 games that we played. It's again, it starts at the top, and Jeremy's done an absolutely phenomenal job with that program and those young men, and we certainly couldn't be prouder of all of their accomplishments on and off of the floor.
Well, I think you kind of said that because I've covered junior college basketball my entire life, gone to the national tournament many times just as a fan to go watch. I've seen some of those teams that, that have won national championships. I'm sure their fans were really happy for them, but I don't know if those fans would invite those kids over to their house. What a great...
I use the word connected. Okay. I think there's just an enormous connection in our county, not just in Great Bend, but, in the entire Barton County with our team and with our coaches. And then that just festers. I use the word foster. That just festers into the college itself, the good feelings about the college and our athletic department. And it's just, like I said, it's been a whirlwind of good things.
Okay, tell me what's going on tonight down at the Best Western.
Tonight, the Booster Club is sponsoring a celebration for the men's basketball national championship, the first in the history of the program, and number 60 for the college, in conjunction with Best Western. As you well know, covering the Cougars for all these years, Lauren Unruh was a big part of the Booster Club and the connection with the college and the athletic department. And so I think having it at the Best Western courtyard is only fitting. And so that starts today at 5 o'clock. All of our basketball players and coaches will be available for autographs. We've got 3 posters that we'll be giving out to anybody and everybody, and the team can sign them. We'll also be the bookstore has been awesome. I got to give a huge shout-out to Cecilia Nicolette in terms of all of the championship apparel. They're going to be selling little orange basketballs that are blank that will be very, very very cheap in cost. And then the kids, it's a palm ball that the people can buy and have the team sign. And you talked about kids playing out in their yard, with the autographed shirts and stuff and trying to be Miles Thompson or Cooper Jackson or whoever, so that'll be a neat little memento for them to have. They'll also be selling the regulation-sized autographed basketballs that the team has already signed, in addition to T-shirts, championship T-shirts, hoodies, crews. Again, Cecilia's just done a remarkable job with all that, and they'll be manning all of that, the sales of all that at the event. And then at about 6, we'll hear some words from Booster Club President Rob Bowman. I'll say a few words. Certainly Coach Combs will say a few words, and then the voice of the Cougars, Cole Reif, will say a few words, and that'll start at about 6. And then when we get done with that, there'll be more chance for autographs, and then probably in particular more pictures at that time, where the guys won't be sitting at the tables signing the posters and stuff. We'll be able to get them involved in some more pictures and stuff, and then we'll try to close things out at about 7. There will be refreshments and cookies and cake for all those who attend as well, and we're just going to try to go out with a bang tonight, Steve.
Okay, you mentioned Lauren, and I think of all the other big boosters over the years, and one comes to mind, Dana Foss, who
absolutely
they're not with us now. But I feel like the way the tournament and the season went, they had something to do with it. It seems.
You better believe it. And the smile, I can see the smile on Dana's face. Doug and I have talked about that a couple times since we won it, and certainly dealing with Lacey there and the relationship we have with Best Western, and talking about Lauren and all the greats who have come before. There are many that are smiling ear to ear. I think, I used to eat pregame meal at the Best Western Angus Inn, back in the day. And Lauren he loved every minute of it, hosting the team and being involved and connected. And there are so many. Jimmy Downing, president of the college for years, wanted nothing more than to win a national championship in basketball. And I know he's certainly smiling down as well. So we've done it for a lot of people. And again, all the credit goes to Coach Combs, his staff, and certainly the players who got the work done.
One guy I want to point out, and I think he's still the president, for the time being, but Dr. Carl Heilman, because he inherited a mess, Trevor. It was a mess, and I think he got this thing, he's anti-athletic and things like that, but you worked with a man for a number of years now. Talk about Dr. Carl Heilman and his behind-the-scenes support of your programs.
Been incredible. And, I've said it publicly. I haven't worked for a different president. He hired me in 2011, and so we've been together for 13 years. And I wasn't around here when he was initially hired to clean up the mess, but he made it very clear to me when he hired me that we're cleaning up this mess. It's ongoing, and if you're going to be AD here, you're going to be on board with staying compliant and doing things the right way. And I think we've done a great job of that. But again, we talk about starting at the top. that cleanup effort started with the board that hired Dr. Howman, and he was able to clean up a lot of things that were unfortunate and just a black eye on the college, and I'm knocking on some wood right now, Steve. We're past all of those things, and we've continued to just grow and do things the right way, and all the while, win. And the last comment I would make about Dr. Howman is, and I told the board this last night when they recognized both our national championship teams, about it starting at the top. You've got to have the support and the belief and the standards of excellence from the top, and it starts with the Board of Trustees, and then certainly as it relates to my direct supervisor, Dr. Howman, that you have to have that support. And he's been incredibly supportive and understands very much the piece that athletic plays in the success of the college.
Barton Community College does a lot of cool things, but the front yard, as I've always said for a long time, is the athletic department is the front yard of your school or your university. Well,
without question,
you got a nice looking yard right now.
Yeah, you look at any college. Kansas State's known for a lot of things in ag, and they've got wonderful programs, and Manhattan's a nice city, and all of those kinds of things. But yeah, that place looks a whole lot better and a whole lot prettier, and there's a whole lot more people wanting to be a part of it when their athletic teams are winning.
And this is the second national championship this year for the school,
yes,
and we've got a few others in track and field, like about in the high 50s, right? So, but I just said, in the open, I mean, it's just different, and it's probably, maybe it's not fair, and I get texts and things like that, but it's something else to win a national basketball championship.
It is. It just is, and that's at any level. I mean, it's just there are flagship sports, and that's just the nature of the beast, and it has been incredibly special, and we would be remiss, and we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight too, to not talk about the growth success of all of our programs.
Oh yeah,
we've got 2 national titles in the bag this year, but all 3 of our fall sports won conference championships. We've got a number of spring sports that are ranked in the top 10 in the country, and the place is special, Steve. I think we could just summarize it like that. And you don't have a special place like that unless you're surrounded by special people who have a common belief of the importance, again, for everyone involved of athletic programs that are successful. And it's a great place to work. It's a great place to be a part of, and I'm just beaming with happiness and pride, as you can probably tell.
Trevor, enjoy tonight. And just keep enjoying. Okay. All right.
Come by and see it.
All right, Trevor. Thank you. Trevor Rolfs with us, athletic director at Barton Community College. We're going to talk Great Bend Panther softball coming up next. Carrie Minton and her pitching staff will be coming in with Mike Corson here on the Wednesday Sports Day show, brought to you in part by Advanced Therapy and Sports Medicine. Get your life back. Cougar Booster Club continuing their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country. And also by Venture Corporation, reminding you to help a neighbor shop local when you can.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Barton Community College enrollment days are back. Registration is now available for all sessions through July 24th. Make the enrollment process fun, fast, and simple. Reserve your spot to get everything set up for the fall semester in just one day. Visit with an academic and financial advisor, enroll in classes, take a tour of campus, and more. Visit enroll.bartoncccc.edu to sign up.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Zach Strite, commercial lender for Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Wright, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Mike Corson joined today by Lady Panther softball pitchers and Coach Carrie Minton. We've got freshman Shayla Prendergast.
Sports Day presents on the...
We love 2 intros. Sophomore Alyssa McCauley and sophomore Braylon Turner coming off a big win. How are we doing today?
Good. Great. Thriving.
Girls, we got like 9 minutes to fill. You're going to have to give me more than good.
Woo! We're thriving.
So let's talk about last night because it's always fun seeing the stats that come in. So when I open up Game Changer app, it says, Turner turns in dominant pitching performance. I was like, ooh, what is this? 13 strikeouts in Game 1 against Dodge City. Run rule win? What was the mindset going into that one, Braylon?
Just do my best and I don't know, just go out there and do what I do.
Do you ever go into a game thinking you might have more than a dozen strikeouts?
No, absolutely not.
Anything you can pinpoint what was going on last night? Finally, no wind. Is
Yeah.
your ball spinning a little better?
Mm-hmm.
And then Shayla, you come in, so usually your game too, so you're seeing what Braylon's doing. You get a chance to see what the lineup's doing. What's going through your head as she keeps mowing them down?
So as she's pitching and she's doing all these amazing things with her movement pitches and everything, I'm thinking about my strengths and how, like, we all complement each other because we're all, like, we all have different strengths and everything. And so I'm thinking of, like, so this girl hit this ball here, so maybe if I try this pitch, then it'll work better.
And I was legit curious because you guys aren't big leaguers and you don't get the full scouting report. And you're mostly pitchers, except Alyssa plays some infield. But what is the role in the dugout as you're watching that first game? Are you mental notes or actually writing something down?
Well, yeah, I take mental notes, and I like to cheer on Braylon as she's pitching. Or Alyssa, too, whenever Alyssa pitches.
We're going to talk more about Alyssa's hitting, too. But we'll bring up some stats here in a second. But, Coach, so I introduced them, freshman, sophomore. You guys are 10-1. How exciting is that from your perspective?
Oh, that's really exciting. I mean, the girls have worked really hard so far this year. And, just going into the season, we knew that we had a really exciting outlook on how things were going to go. And they've handled it all really well. Up to this point, we have switched back and forth. We've tried to change things up and see, what works best and when. And right now, these two here for the most part, and then we've thrown Alyssa out in the circle a little bit. They've all done a tremendous job.
Yeah, let's look at these pitch counts because it truly is really a two-headed, but a little bit of a three-headed monster here. So Shayla, freshman, 507 pitches this year. Braylon right behind her, 479. And Alyssa's seen some action with 47. How's that? I mean, growing up watching softball, a lot of times there used to be one pitcher out there, especially as young kids. What's it like knowing I don't have to go 2 games tonight, probably, Braylon?
It feels really good because sometimes it gets tiring, but other times I can do it.
And Shayla, how about you just as a freshman, especially knowing that, especially if you're getting that game too, that I know that first pitch of a doubleheader is always the big pitch. So take a little pressure off coming in that game too and seeing everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. And then, because it helps me, like, be able to see how, like, if Braylon's, like, doing really good with one thing, it helps me know, like, how to keep moving with that. And because we all have different strengths and we all, like, combine to, like, help.
Alyssa, what's your role in all this? I know you play some other spots and you're a big hitter, so in the circle, kind of what's your role when these two are throwing the majority?
I think it's kind of just my role to come in when I'm needed. I mean, obviously I'm not as fast a pitcher as either of them. At least I don't think. I haven't really clocked it, but I think it's just my role to come in and do what I can. If one of them is struggling, come in and pitch strikes. If they're hitting them, I try and trust my defense and just mostly try and get the job done.
You know what you can do to help them? Hit more home runs. 2 home runs on the year. So, Shayla, you've mentioned this twice already, different specialties. All 3 of you can kind of talk what you bring to the team in terms of a little bit different from the other girls.
Yeah, we all have different things. Like Braylon has amazing movement with her pitches, and Alyssa also with her movement pitches, and it's just everyone has a different outlook on things, and I like how it all like comes together to like help it helps the team, and then with defenses and everything, it also helps like we have an amazing defense, and so like no matter who's pitching, if the ball gets hit, like I just trust our defense to help.
Braylon, what do you bring?
I think I bring more movement than I do speed. Shayla brings a lot of speed to the circle, and I always trust my defense behind me. I can trust that they'll catch or ground anything that gets hit off of me.
Anything you bring in extra, Alyssa?
I feel like it's a great combination when Shayla's pitching or Braylon's pitching and they start hitting either of them, and then we can bring me in and kind of slow it down a little bit because then they're out in front of everything. So I think that really can help a lot of the time.
And Coach, from your, because that's an interesting point, we always think power, 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 but if you're used to seeing power and somebody comes in and it's just a tick slower, what does that do to the opposing bats? Either side, bringing the power or just kind of throwing them off kilter.
And that's, when we're able to do that and change it up. And like she mentioned, just taking the batters out of their routine, making them see something different, that has helped us tremendously. As they mentioned, they're all 3 do a tremendous job in the circle, changing things up. And that's exciting for us because we know when we are, calling pitches, you asked about scouting or keeping track of pitches. We do track pitches and what batters do with certain pitches in the dugout. And so, it's a great advantage for each of them to be able to see, what Braylon did with certain batters, what pitches she threw, what worked the best. And they're all very coachable. They're all great about wanting to know that information.
Talking to Lady Panther softball coach Carrie Minton, we've got freshman Shayla Prendergast, sophomores Alyssa McCauley and Braylon Turner. So I'm changing y'all to Smiths. Prendergast, I always don't know where to put the R's. Braylon, it's Turner, but my fingers want to type turned, and it doesn't underline it. So I'm just going to change them all to Smith. So on a curiosity note, you guys don't get the wood bat sound in softball. It's the ding ding, but you still get the pop of the mitt. Let's go around the room here. What's better, strike them out looking or strike them out swinging?
For me, it kind of depends on like the pitch line pitching. Like I love to see people swing and miss at my like movement pitches, or when I'm spotting. But I also like if I'm just throwing like fastballs, I like just watching them because then they get super mad and.
And then do you feed off that next time where if you're just completely overpowering somebody, you're just going to try that again, or is it fun to throw in some change-ups?
So my change-ups aren't super strong right now, but like with my slider, I like to throw it because it's a little off-speed. But if it works, then I'd like to get ahead before I try to do my movement pitches.
Braylon?
I like to watch them swing because I like when they start chasing some of my balls, but I also like when they look because it makes me feel good and it makes me feel like I'm pretty consistent on what I'm throwing. And I like to see their reaction sometimes.
Honest. Alyssa?
I like it when you pitch like a curveball and they think it's going inside, but then it goes out and they kind of like step away and they're like, oh shoot. And you're like, gotcha.
On a looking, yeah, bend the knees a little bit. Yeah, get them buckling down a little bit. Defensively, because obviously we're talking to the pitchers today, but man, it's been cold out there. Ever any worries from your part that, man, my girls aren't being very active behind me because I'm an ace in the circle? Any problem with trying to keep those other girls involved when you're kind of in the zone?
I never really worry about our defense. I think they're a really strong group of girls.
Excellent. So let's talk about the record. What was Manhattan, the one team that beat you? What was, Coach, you can hop in on this one. I haven't looked at the rankings to see if Manhattan's ranked, but given how much success you guys have had, I kind of wonder, what was it about Manhattan that was different than all these other teams you guys just dominating?
In that game, I felt like we played really well. We just struggled to put the ball in play. Manhattan's defense is phenomenal, and so when we were able to get runners on, we just couldn't string hits together that game and push runs across. So, Manhattan has gone on and done some really great things. Our season up to this point, we're very familiar with. Going into, we've played Manhattan and McPherson every year. And so going into this weekend, looking ahead, we have Dodge tomorrow in a single game for WAC, and then we go into the weekend. We're back out at Dodge, but we are playing Goddard Eisenhower, Mays South, Derby, and Wichita Northwest. So 2 of those on Friday, 2 on Saturday. So we're excited with where we're at and what we've been able to do up to this point. But then, like I said, moving into the weekend, we're anxious, to see kind of where we stand with some of those teams that play up around Wichita.
And I was going to ask the girls too. You've kind of seen the bottom of the WAC, so you're getting to get into the heart against Garden and Hayes. But more interesting, those Wichita area schools. What's your approach, Chayla, on a team that you aren't familiar with?
I like to that's where it's really good to be able to watch Braylon go, because then I can figure out what's happening and how the hitter strengths and their weaknesses. But if I'm pitching against a team, a new team, I take it one pitch at a time, and I just try to see what I can do.
Coach, while we've got you here, you've highlighted some batting averages, and I've been curious myself on base and batting. So let's just run down the list here, because I know usually a team's lucky to have 1 through 4, 1 through 5, but I really feel Great Bend really almost 1 through 9. Yesterday, all 9 or 10 girls that got in the lineup against Dodge had a hit. So let's start. Kaya Bear batting .610, .636 on base. Deshauna Bryant, .526 batting, .571 on base. Paige Sexton, .375 average, .574 on base. And that's your leadoff hitter getting on base that much. Camden Post, little freshman, batting .500, .595 on base. And Cameron Kelsch, your catcher, .467, .600 on base. So I love those batting averages, but love that on base even more. And I do see the walks. How about the consistency of the bats and power hitting as well, and then the ability to watch pitches?
Yeah, we, I feel like our team has done a really good job as we move down the lineup, continuing to put the ball in play as we've progressed through the season. And as you mentioned, the top part of our lineup has done a tremendous job. The RBIs, pushing runs across. I have to talk about just hit on Paige, with Paige's on base percentage, because she's hitting, what did you say, 375, which is great. She's not. I wouldn't say, if Paige isn't thrilled with that. But if you also take a look at it, she has 14 walks on the season. So as our leadoff, I feel like she has done a tremendous job of making their pitcher work at the very start of a game. It allows the rest of our lineup, or those girls coming up, to see a lot of pitches. And that's really beneficial, especially as we're facing teams for the first time this season.
Yeah, Paige, 14 walks. The next most on the team is Cameron Kelsch with 9. But Paige leads the way with 21 runs scored, which is fantastic from a leadoff hitter. Alyssa, 2 home runs from you this year. Kind of what's your approach, especially seeing these girls around you hitting? Ever change your approach thinking, now I'm a power hitter now, or are you just trying to go up there and get base hits?
Power hitter? I kind of just go up there and I have an open mind. If I get a strike called on me, I'm not like, oh, shoot, I have 1 strike, 2 strikes. I just I'm like, if the ball comes in where I want it, I'm swinging. If not, don't swing. But I don't think I ever intentionally try to hit a home run.
That's what the good say. It just happens. Lady Panthers 10-1. Coach, help me out here. Dodge City for a single game Thursday, and then you're going back to back with some different teams Friday, Saturday.
Correct. At Dodge. So we're at Dodge. We're out at Dodge Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. And then you mentioned we get into the rest of our WAC, which will hit up Hayes next week and Garden City the following week.
Excellent. Fantastic seeing the stats come in. Keep going. 10-1 Lady Panthers. Good luck.
Thank you.
More sports day after this.
90 KVGB Great Bend and 95.5 FM K238CK Hoisington.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
There's nothing like A-STEM therapy. This is Tim Marcus from Progressive Physical Therapy in Hayes. Research shows A-STEM therapy improves muscle performance and neural functioning. It's highly effective for those dealing with tennis elbow, carpal tunnel, sports injuries, and general aches and pains.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Don't want to be tied down by a wireless contract? Get the service you deserve with NextTech Wireless Advance Pay. There's no contracts and no credit checks. Plus, you can get unlimited talk and text with 22 gigabytes of high-speed data for only $25 a month. Make the switch now and get a device on us. NextTech Wireless, home on the range.
Welcome back to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. I don't treat your headphones like that.
Carrie Minton says so many agreeable things. I was just over there nodding my head and got those things all tangled up.
Well, she was nodding her head sideways on what you were saying, and her headphones are fine. Okay, let's go to Great Bend baseball. It was fun and games for the softball team. Tough day for the Panthers up in Hayes yesterday, Aaron.
Yep, starting off in game one, the Panthers lose 4-0, but the 3 of those runs for Hayes were scored on the first 3 batters of the game. After that, Panthers played a pretty clean game, got some quality innings from Carson Humphreys once he was able to get settled down out there a little bit, but couldn't get it back in game one. Game two, Great Bend was looking really good for a little while there. Panthers got up 3-0. Hayes was able to get it back a little bit, make it 3-1. Then the bottom of the 5th inning, the Panthers surrender 4 runs, 2 of them coming on back-to-back safety squeezes from Hayes. I was talking to some of the media guys up in the box there in Hayes. Apparently last week they got 5 bunts in a row off against Garden City, which it just seems like something you got to be able to have the right guys to be able to do. Like, not every team can just get up there and say, all right, well, this is going to be bunt 4 in a row. What are you going to do to stop it? But unfortunately, Panthers led 2 runs off of bunts there and couldn't get the win. Do try to get the comeback there. I think Panthers put up a run in the 7th inning, but couldn't get the tie in there and lose 5-4.
Man, the ultimate small ball.
It takes almost more machismo to do that and say, hey, this is working for us. We're getting on base.
Well, right now Hayes is 5-0 in league play. Great Bend drops to 2-2. Dodge City's 1-0. And let's see, Liberal 1-3, Garden City 0-4. Liberal beat Garden City yesterday in a single game, 14-1, and Dodge City took a doubleheader from Salina Central, 7-3 and 2-0. Okay, softball right now. Great Bend leading the league at 5-0. Hayes is 4-0. Then the other 3 teams looking for their first wins. Garden City 0-1, Liberal 0-3, Dodge City 0-5. Hayes beat Garden yesterday 7-4 in a single game. And then Mays over Liberal 11-0, and then Liberal got beat by McPherson, a triangular down at Mays South 14-0. Barton baseball getting back to their winning ways yesterday, moved to 24-7. They won game 1 against the McPherson JV 5-0 in game 2. 28-11 right now. Barton will start a series against Cloud County in Concordia tomorrow.
You know it's a good game for you when you mistake the game score for your record.
especially, the mid-April record. Garden City's at Seward tomorrow, and Hutchinson at Dodge City. Butler is at Pratt. Barton softball, the big doubleheader today. They are underway down in Liberal, taking on Seward County. Barton's still in third right now in the conference standings at 15-7, 18-14. Seward going into that game 12-6 in league play and 18-14 overall. So a lot of jockeying going on there. We'll take a break. More Sports Day coming up right after this.
Introducing Ag Mechanics at Barton Community College in partnership with Case New Holland Top Tech. Hands-on training in areas like electrical, hydraulics, and diesel engines, with technicians gaining the knowledge and skills needed to start a career with CNH Level 1 training. Join this high-demand field at a CNH dealership in only 9 months. Now enrolling for the fall semester. Learn more at toptech.bartoncccc.edu.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Extend the life of your equipment with the best warranty program and risk management tool in the agriculture industry. The Cenex Total Protection Plan covers new and used equipment. Receive up to 10 years or 10,000 hours of engine coverage when you use Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster premium diesel fuel and synthetic lubricants. With no deductible, the Cenex Total Protection Plan provides unmatched coverage to give you the power you need to keep your business running like a well-oiled machine.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor, today.
I guess we're back. Woo! Sports Day. Okay, wrap up some swimming in action yesterday, Mike Corson.
Yeah, so still looking for those automatic state qualifying times. Their 200 free relay got it right off the bat. So Josephine Mazouk is in that little short race, the 50 free, and she won that one by a third of a second, right? Pretty good state consideration time, but she's inching closer to that state qualification time. The 100 fly, Emily Hall won that one. Josephine followed for second place. It's tough to read on there, Steve. I'm not. So the 200 free relay.
Your story.
Yeah. The 200 free relay was a little bit of a different lineup yesterday. So usually you see that team at the top. They dropped off to 4th, but still under state consideration time, even with that different lineup.
All right. Big coaching news. Clint Kinnaman, new girls coach at McPherson.
Did McPherson need any better?
Kinnaman brothers.
Yeah. So, Clint Kinnaman, the new girls basketball coach at McPherson. And new basketball coach coming to Great Bend High School on the girls' side.
Yeah, went to the Board of Education meeting, and somebody said, does that say girls head basketball coach? And it did. So, obviously looking at her own family stuff. Coaching's a busy thing when you're playing 2-3 times a week in the winter, so